back to the Intertwined podcast. I'm your host, Paris.
And I'm Will.
And we're Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, we took 2 weeks off. But we didn't mean to because we're on vacation, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
We exactly meant to.
But what? Really? No. The original plan was to schedule 2 episodes. But then our planning was, I don't even want to say it was poor because I had just come back from traveling to Orlando.
Yeah, I think that we just got to a point where looking at our vacation, we decided that we wanted it to be a full break.
Yeah, which was great. And I am really glad that we didn't post because I've never traveled or taken time off and just like dropped social media, which was cool. It would have been cool though to film an episode on like a bench in Croatia
because our views were incredible.
We really did want to film one in London specifically because that's where we also were. But
the detox was so necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to Croatia, technically Hungary as well, and England. So London, Budapest, Zagreb. I don't know why I said them in the other order.
That was an interesting order.
But yeah, traveling is a very, I feel like that's like the last like big major, I don't want to say turning point, but like major, like if you're in a relationship that is within like a year and then you travel together. I mean, we traveled pretty extensively. It wasn't just like
I travel a lot.
Yeah, but it would have been different if we traveled to just like Colorado.
Yeah, none of it's
like big time travel is huge. You learn a lot about the other person.
Sure.
Fortunately, I mean, you've traveled so much since like you just travel a lot in general for dance and everything that like I got to learn pretty quickly how Paris works with traveling, and she's very great at planning and kind of like, I mean, this trip we wanted to have a pretty chill itinerary, so we didn't really have it loaded as if it was like wake up at 6 a.m., do this, this, and this, so we maximize our time.
Yes, but the planning was that we theorized and started initiating moves regarding this trip 8 months.
That's true.
9 months in advance.
Which is that's just insane. That's so well to do because it did make like the hotel feel not nearly as like, I don't even want to say claustrophobic, but it wasn't last minute where you were feeling the money empty your pocket. Like we paid for that literally 7 months before.
Yes, and I love that. I love planning early when it comes to vacations. Obviously, this was our first actual vacation together that was not work related, not with friends,
not dance,
not to see. It was to see family, but it wasn't to see family. We just wanted to book a trip, and that was where the intention started. And so booking it all the way in advance for me was so great. I really loved that, and I want to do that all the time because by the time that we get to the things that are expensive, we've already forgotten how much it costs.
That's kind of
so there's no like the buyer's remorse really gets to wear off. And I personally am not really a victim of buyer's remorse. However, William is.
Yeah.
So booking things as far in advance as we did this last trip was, I want to say, perfect, because by the time that we got to the part of vacation where it was starting the adventure, being in the adventure, at no part of it was the energy low due to buyer's remorse or experiencing a type of like, oh, should we be doing this? It's the end of the year. Like,
that only really happened the last few days, and that was because of I guess we'll just label it as
extended.
Well, it got extended, but then also certain things got billed or bought by not me or you.
That's a really weird way to describe a situation.
More money got spent that would what?
That's not.
Okay. Well, okay.
So pretty much because he's saying this weird, but the only thing that made him because he's the one that stresses about finances,
Yeah.
as I just said. The only thing that made his energy get weird was at one point during the trip, um, his card was stolen and was
Yeah.
being used in Northern California,
Which
in
is
a part of
crazy.
Northern California that neither of us have ever been to,
Y-
after notifying the bank that we would not be in California.
Yeah.
So
That
that
makes
was a
sense.
little frustrating, but obviously shit happens.
Yeah, so that
And it
would
was
have
fine.
definitely helped not be I probably still would have worried, but I wouldn't have worried as much because it was kind of pushing it close. But it doesn't matter because we're back, we're fine, we're set for starting the next year, we're still good. And I mean we also kind of got to have like the most chill. Like I felt bad because I'm like the the vibe was so chill. Like we had very like we literally just walked around and we just looked at things and didn't buy them, or the TV channel like channels they had were literally showing trilogies of movies just every other day. So like the first day we got
Mhm.
into, I guess we moved a hotel, it was playing like Spider-Man 1, and then the next day was Spider-Man 2, and the next day was Spider-Man 3, and then they played Batman Begins, and then The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. So like we
You can tell which one
had
he likes.
we had stuff to do that wasn't, I don't know, it was definitely new because I grew up with parents that wanted to maximize like have a very
What is
in-depth,
maximalizing?
but I don't know, just maximize the itinerary to be very
There's a
in-depth to do
bachelor's
the
degree
most.
sitting on the shelf,
It does not
and
matter
he
because
just
it's
said
not in English.
maximalize.
It's not in English.
That was
And so
French.
because it was really cool, but no, the whole planning aspect was, yeah, that was, it's you just learn so much from
Yeah.
traveling with
So my
someone.
advice to my friends in my 20s is my advice to my friends in their 20s.
Associate's degree.
clearly
Associate's degree.
clearly we're struggling with the jet lag. Um I would say for any trips, if you want to feel the most free on them, book them early.
Yeah, like I would also say, well, I mean, it would make sense. Book the flight and then book the hotel. Like, do those two things earliest first, because you will want to just spend money on food and or drinks and or experiences while you're there. And I even had a rough idea of a budget of like how much the food would cost. Credit, London is one of the most expensive cities in Europe. So it was just way more than my kind of daily budget I broke down to in my head, which is fine. It's just you will always just want to have more money than,
Do your research.
yeah, do your research. But no, it's actually it's just really good to know because you learn. It was cool because I feel like this trip, right, we went on I guess we didn't even mention this. So a year ago we went on a road trip to Monterey, and we drove up there, and
Monterey
then
Bay.
literally the second night the damn power went out in the whole hotel because the weather was so bad. So we had no power, no lights, no nothing for what? It was like 8 hours. When we woke up
No,
for
it
breakfast
was
there
it
was
was
no
over
food.
that.
It
We
was
fell
bad.
asleep that night. We woke up, there was no power.
And
Um
it didn't come on
it
till,
didn't come on until, so we spent the entire day out.
yep.
We came back at like 8, power was still out.
Oh, was it really
Um
8? Damn.
yeah, we were trying to find stuff to do. Finally came back. It was like maybe 10:30, and we just decided to sit outside of the hotel because we were like,
I
well, it's dark
forgot about that.
outside, it's dark inside. We'll just sit here for a minute because we had just picked up some mochi nuts for the first time
I
ever.
forgot about that.
And we were watching the hotel. The lights came on, and then the lights turned back off. But then the lights turned back on again, and we were like, okay, let's extend our trip by a day.
Yeah, so the moral of that story was the fact that that was something that was like a moment in the trip that kind of like tainted a little bit of it because literally had to spend a lot more money that we did not plan for reasons out of our control. And also we tried to fight against it and nothing happened
Which
because
also falls
we're
into
just
the
annoying.
category of do your research, because
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to the aquarium, so we just booked a trip to go up to Monterey Bay without even being like, we're
Which
driving to Northern California in the winter when the weather's
yeah,
bad
that's true.
and they get storms and stuff like that. So,
But like that is that the I guess the reason I say that is because that was like a dull moment that like had kind of a lot of weight to the overall trip where like when we came back we could both kind of feel like, oh, that was fun, but that like really sucks that that happened. And this trip I feel like there's nothing remotely close to that, and that was
mhm.
through
Proper
successful
planning.
planning, doing a lot of research,
Mhm.
going over there and having just like a set, because it was great because it wasn't like we have to say stay
Yeah.
on schedule. um but that was probably the best part, and again that I feel is great to happen when you travel with a partner that works well with you, because that would just be, I feel like, exaggerated. Like if you travel with, I mean, I don't know what how long do you think it's appropriate to travel? This is actually a great hypothetical for you. So how many months of dating do you think it should be before someone like travels?
I mean, I think that it's different for everyone because that's such a, like, that question
Like
can
if
only
I
be
had
answered with extra variables being included. Like, how old are they? Do they already live in different
20,
cities? Do they already
22,
travel to see each
let's just, okay,
other?
we'll
Like,
just do fresh out of college,
what
22, and they're in California to give it comparable to us, so
do they
you know
both
it's
have
expensive here.
jobs?
Yes,
Do they live together? Do they live separately?
they live separately.
Do they live with roommates?
No.
They both just live in their own apartments.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And they're how old?
22, let's just say right out of college.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
or 23, I don't know, I
How
guess.
long? And the question is,
How
how
long
long
do you
do they have
like
to be together before they go
like
somewhere?
like if we I'm trying to think if we could, because I was just trying to think like I haven't really done a lot of traveling with friends, and so the friends that I have traveled with, I knew them for a very long time, so I knew kind of the chemistry with them before I traveled.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm saying. But like if say you like start dating someone and it's like after like 2 months and they're like, hey, let's go to Bali, is that like a thing? Like I wonder what you do in that scenario, because you immediately learn a lot about them from going on that trip,
Yeah.
because you learn
Would you
how
not
they
want to
stress, how
go?
they function. I don't know. If you invited me to Bali when I was, I don't even want to say my
You
age
wouldn't
because
have
I'm just
told
older
me
than you.
no.
No, I don't think I
You would
would
have
have.
said yes.
2 months is crazy close. So I can't even say anything though because I bought the SZA tickets and the Leroy tickets pretty quick for when we met. I don't know. I was just trying to think of a comparison because that I don't know how else to describe. You just learn how the chemistry flows when you travel, because you learn how people react to stress, like me with the money, or reading the dumb subway, bro. Paris,
Yeah,
this is
I
not
didn't know
fair.
that that would be a trigger
It
point for
was no,
you,
no,
but
no, no.
I
This
looked
is
over
dumb.
and you were like so
No,
just like
this is
no, it was such a genuine
no, this is dumb.
distraughtness, and I was like, "Oh my god, is
This
something wrong? Like, did something bite you? Did you trip and I didn't notice? Like,
no,
what's wrong?
no, this is stupid because I
Why is it stupid?"
I can't see the goddamn signs that fast or that easily. So when Paris is like figuring out like, oh, we need to take this tube stop to this location, we need to get off here or whatever. I'm
I was
still
locked
looking,
in,
and
you
then she's
guys. I was locked in.
looking at the sign that says like what line it is and when the tube arrives, like 4 minutes or whatever. That to me was overwhelming because I literally did not know what step she was on. So I felt so excluded. and I don't want to just be led around. Not because I don't think she'll
But
get
it
us to the
was
right
like,
place. I think she
it
will,
put him in
but
his
I feel
feelings,
yeah,
and it was funny.
because okay,
It was
because
funny just because I was
okay,
like, "What's wrong?"
like
Like,
like if okay, let's compare this very simply. If I'm a dog and I'm on a leash, I don't want to be led somewhere without knowing where I'm going. Not because I don't.
dogs love
No, no,
new things.
no, not because I'm going to be scared of where I'm being taken, but I want to be involved and know where I'm going. And so when you're like, oh, we have to take this line, we're going down 5 stops. That's going to be on this line. Oh, what time is it going to come in 5 minutes? Okay, let's sit on the bench. I'm still stuck at what stop we need to be on. And then it didn't help because living in California, I keep freaking opening up Apple Maps, but the rest of the universe operates on Google Maps. And so every time I would open Apple Maps, the first thing I was met with was Paris saying, close it, and then open Google Maps. But then by the time I opened Google Maps, she had Google Maps open on her phone, and she was already reading what
Okay,
spot to
it
get
was
to
a
on the
little bit
tube.
frustrating
I know, and I was being
because
stubborn because
I
I
would
didn't want to change.
specifically say, "Oh, can you pull this up in Google Maps?" And you would just open
Apple.
Apple Maps.
It's
And I was
normalized. I got it normalized here because it's just so much better.
I
And I used to be a Google Map ride or die. And then it
yes.
took me to the
And it
wrong
was so
location. I haven't told you that. Did it twice.
what? Oh my god.
No, it
Wait, because a big factor into you just turning around and me already having the location open in maps was because
you're crying. Damn.
you chronically get lost.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
No, I
do.
don't. She
Yes,
says I
you
get lost
do.
and I just can't
He
see, so I go
does. He
slow.
does.
I go
It's
slow.
not with the walking, it's not with the tubes, it's also with driving. Will sometimes
No, it's
just
I go
gets lost. So I was
hate
like,
that.
I
I
don't
hate
want to get on the wrong train. I'll read the instructions.
Yeah, she was fucking the Flash. She was going so fast. I felt so excluded.
But
I was
it's
like,
just
God
so much
damn.
funnier knowing that you've gotten lost by yourself
No, no,
too.
no, no. I did not get lost.
By yourself,
It took me to the wrong place. Like it did. Like for reals. It wasn't fair. I was
we
going
used Apple Maps 2 months ago in San Diego, and it told us to drive through a building.
What? It did. I don't even remember
Yes.
that.
Oh my god.
No, I was going over to see the Euro 2022, Euro 2020 final, England versus Italy, at a friend's house. And credit, they lived in a neighborhood that was literally just built. So when I put in the address, I asked Ryan for the address. I put the address in. I then put it into Google Maps, and it took me to the end of a cul-de-sac of the wrong street because it was the street over. Like the streets hadn't been finalized on Google Maps, so it took me to the wrong part of the neighborhood. And then when I saw literal wood frames of a house, I'm like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. What the hell? And I think I ended up having to check like Ryan's location or like, but I got taken to the wrong place. And that wasn't even on me. I followed the blue line.
Well,
So
why
I
are you
stopped
blaming
doing
it on the map? You
so
just said that it was a new neighborhood.
because then it did it one other time where it also said like drive through a building or something. So I'm just like, I'm gonna use Apple Maps. Also, Apple Maps gives the speed limit, so it's easier to just tell. And yeah. But apparently all of Europe uses Google Maps. Also, apparently,
Well, it's
the
just more
entirety-
convenient because every time he opened up Apple Maps
It would
and
load.
clicked on the public transportation, it would give him one option. But when you open Google Maps, and
Oh,
clicked
I didn't
on the
even notice
public
that.
transportation to get to our destination, it would give us like 3 different bus lines we could use, 4 different tube
Oh, that's true.
adventures that we could go on. Like, there was just more options. In Apple, I think that it's just not that well versed in other countries. Like, I feel like it's set
That's
up
true.
for here where there's not that much public transportation.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say the other thing is apparently all of Europe, well, mainly Croatia, runs only on Apple Pay. Only. There are buildings
Yeah,
that are
I
literally
love,
cashless,
yeah,
and they say
so
we
many of
don't
them
accept
only
cash.
take tap to pay. You don't even have to pull out. I don't think we pulled out our cards a single time
Nope.
in the entire 3 weeks that we were
And you don't even
gone.
have to type any like PIN number or confirm anything. You literally tap and you're done. And they don't do tipping over there. So you literally they come over and they're like, "Hey, here's your bill.
He was
Tap,
really
bye."
excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, it does feel very futuristic because you're like, "What is even money? I'm just tapping my phone." Like it made my phone tap feel like a magnet, and it didn't feel like I had money. I'm gonna be completely honest. It really didn't feel like I had money for how much I was stressing about like money at the end of the trip. Every time we paid for something, I'm like, oh, this isn't real. I'm just tapping my phone. Which for someone who's very into, I stare at like how much money I don't want to lose too much. That's crazy that like that. I feel like that's a very 2000s thing to say where it's like, oh, I just swiped the credit card and I don't even, it's free money. That's how they play the dumb character in like a finance class, right? And that's literally what I turned into when I was over there with Apple Pay. I just was like, oh, this is just a magnet. It's like a key to unlock, but it's not, the key doesn't cost anything.
Mm.
And then at the end of the trip, I saw how much got spent and I'm like, damn. Can't even be mad though, because we literally did not we bought 2 jackets.
Yeah, or dripped out.
That was it. Other than that, it was all experience, food, drinks,
And souvenirs for everybody else.
bro. That
We
part,
got a we got
we
a
spent
magnet
so
for
much money.
ourselves
We spent so much
and
money on
so
everyone
many
else.
gifts for
Holy
other
shit!
people.
We spent. Oh yeah, that. Well, I already told you this, so there's no point even saying. I was gonna say my hot take is I think souvenirs are kind of lame, but that's coming from the perspective of if someone goes on a trip, I don't want a souvenir 90% of the time because why would I want it when I didn't go? You know?
He's just ungrateful.
No. Like I would be very grateful for getting something, but also if we're gonna think in the terms of
That's exactly what all the train lines sound like. Wibbly
utilization,
wobbly.
bippity boppity. Like I don't like. I want the magnet because
We're
I
riding
got
the line
it
to
in the
Piddlington.
location. But I said that a while ago. But
They call their
talk about
roundabouts
this.
circuses.
They do. I never knew that.
That's not what the Piccadilly Circus is.
Oh, I was always so confused
And
why it
the
was called
other
Piccadilly
circus?
Circus. I didn't know that.
And the other circus?
No. There's only like 1 or 2.
There was a few circuses and a lot of squares.
Yep. Russell Square, Leicester Square, Trafalgar Square. I mean, Russell Square was an actual.
I think that they should incorporate some more shapes.
The Zoid. It's just a trapezoid.
Yeah. Do you know how cool that would be?
Rom bus. The bus goes around the rhombus. Okay. How about these pajamas though? I'm Santa. That's something Paris is also very good at. We look
Buying
dripped out.
clothes. Thank you. I am pretty good at that.
We look dripped out. Also, my like trench coat thing, so comfy.
Hold on,
So
pause,
nice.
rewind. Something
What?
else that I'm great at is knowing things and being correct. Because
Yep.
the week before we left for our trip, Black Friday, I said, Will, I think you need some thermal pants. And he said, I don't need any thermal pants.
Yeah.
And I said, bro, I think you need some thermal pants.
In London.
So we went to Costco and we bought thermal pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I made him pack them.
Yep.
And we got to Europe.
Yep.
And it was so cold.
In Croatia.
It was so cold
It was
that
freezing.
it was so cold that wearing socks and wearing shoes with my thermals under my pants and my thermals under my sweaters and my coats, that I thought that my toes were freezing. Like
Yeah.
my feet were so cold that I thought that my shoes were broken. Like I was walking and I was like, "Oh, there's no way." Like there's like a slit in the front of both of my shoes because I can feel the air. Like the sidewalk is
Yeah.
freezing, like it's my feet are cold.
Yeah, no, Croatia was so much colder than I thought, but there was no
Croatia
wind
was
chill.
so cold.
London was annoyingly cold because it wasn't cold,
Budapest was
but it
somehow
was.
colder than Croatia.
I disagree.
On the day that we were leaving,
I disagree.
uh you didn't even go outside. On the day that we were leaving
Uh,
Budapest,
what we did
yeah,
though.
on the day that we were leaving Budapest, it was doing winter flurry in the sky. What do they call it? Snowy mix. Where it felt like we were standing in cloud and it was wet, but
I
also
don't
there was
remember
little
this.
flakes.
I don't remember this. I thought I was gonna say Budapest was annoying. It was cold in the fact that
It
the
was
wind was
so
really
cold.
bad, but like I was only wearing a
It
hoodie
wasn't even that
and
windy, but
I was wearing a sweatsuit.
it was really really foggy.
Oh yeah, when we left. Yeah.
I should like insert photos.
Because I was gonna like
But
the
it was
I
just
didn't think it was
so
as
cold
cold.
and
Croatia
over
was
the
just
1 week that we were there, it progressively got colder. And then we landed in
yeah.
London. We were like, okay, it's warm. And then it progressively got colder there too. So I was
Yeah.
really excited the last couple of days of our trip because their wind is really bad. So I was really excited to come back home and be touched by the sun. And then it rained the entire first day that we were here.
Yep.
But today it was nice and sunny.
Yeah, no, Croatia
And
was
I was so
annoying.
happy.
Like it was so cold and there was no wind chill at all. It was pretty tame, but it was just freezing. And then London, it wasn't bad, but the wind was awful. Which so again, doing research, Paris knows. Well, one just knows like how to shop, like knows my size of things that I don't even know. And then made sure that we had all the correct thermals, the well, I guess that's the same thermal top bottom set of gloves. Because that's that again, research. Living in California, you don't have cold weather clothes because the climate isn't cold
No. So
here,
now
and
I
I'm
have
not
an
used to that.
entire winter
Because
wardrobe.
yeah, because in Colorado, I just go into the closet and put on my coat because it used to snow there, and now it doesn't. But we wouldn't have to buy stuff. So the prep was really cool. We also didn't have to. It was just a great process, which was amazing because again, I'm glad there wasn't like a moment like when Monterey Bay had like a random billing thing. Like the card got stolen, but like it didn't fuck us over with like other stuff, um which was really nice. So
Mhm.
I was just because we literally sat in the living room and packed the night before and we had everything
Pack the
done.
night before a 3-week trip is insane.
I don't think so.
I think that's pretty crazy.
Why? When would you pack normally? I think that makes sense. We started at like 7. That's not bad.
I'll say
Not even. I think we
we
started
were fully
6.
prepared to be packed earlier than that,
Oh yeah, but
except that my compression bags did not get delivered
oh
until the end, almost the end of the first week of our
yeah,
trip. So I had to last minute
yeah, order different.
overnight
The other problem
compression
is we were
bags to the
doing really good
house.
on time. It was we started, I swear, like 6, which again is good for the context that the flight wasn't until 3 p.m. the next day. So that's
Mhm.
why I'm like, it could have been way worse. But the fact that we started at 6, we only had a lull period because we lost the first aid kit and we had no clue where that went. So
Oh
I think
my
we literally
god.
stopped for an hour to just look and find it. We didn't find it, but it was apparently already packed. And so we finished what at like
We finished at like 2 in the morning.
I thought we finished at like
Like
1 and
packing and
then
showering and just getting ourselves ready and everything.
okay, because I think we finished packing at like 1 and then we took an hour to shower, clean up, yeah, last minute cleanup. Because we also, again, Paris wrote down an itinerary of like what we should deep clean before we leave, which is the biggest piece of advice I would say if you're going to travel is deep clean the hell out of your living space before you travel, because then we
Yeah.
got to come back into a made bed, which was amazing. And yeah, that Friday was crazy. We actually both worked the day we came back, and we worked the next day.
Yeah.
Which again, also more experience if you were going to travel. Always book enough time off where you can just chill the next day. Like I would never fly home on a Sunday again, because I've done that too many times from flying back to see my parents for an infusion.
Mm.
Like you needed a buffer day.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately, it was only a Friday. So, and it rained all day. So it was kind of like nothing really happened.
Mm.
But
So, a lot of learning lessons that we can apply to our next year of traveling and fun.
yes. Yeah, try because yep, we're gonna do the exact same trip. We're gonna go to Europe again for
No,
3 weeks,
I don't want a cold
but
winter
we're gonna
again. And it's just December. Like, people don't even count this as winter sometimes.
yeah, well, in here, I don't know. In Colorado, it's
So
guaranteed.
crazy.
It was
So,
cool though because I would say traveling in the winter is also a really cool, different experience. I've never traveled in the winter. I mean, we went to Monterey last year, but like we got to see a soccer game. We got to go see like the winter lights. The whole city was like done up with the Christmas lights, which look really pretty. Um, and that is everyone travels usually in the summer. I mean, is that a typical like thing to travel as a Californian because you're so close to Mexico to like go to Mexico for Christmas? Because that's what, or
I
not
don't
Christmas,
know. I've never been to Mexico for Christmas.
going to Mexico for winter break, like for school.
I don't. I never went to Mexico for winter break.
No, but like, did anyone do that?
I
Because
don't know.
that was the thing in
Probably.
Colorado. Everyone was like, I can't handle the cold. I'm gonna go somewhere where it's hot, and then they would just do
Except
that.
that it's not really cold that we have to escape from here.
Oh, that's true. That was kind of a dumb question. Well, we
Well,
will be
we'll
doing
see you
that.
next year on Christmas in Mexico.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to have a fantastic new year, even though this is delayed. It should be the last day of the year. So yeah, thank you guys so much for a fun couple months that we started this year. And make sure to rate the show. That helps out a lot. Listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week.